Thank you, April channel members. Hi guys, I'm coming at you with a bit of a different video today. With a new phase of TPOT almost certainly just around the corner, I want to speculate exactly what possibilities may occur related to it. Hopefully you all end up enjoying this video. First is the question of exactly when the next phase of TPOT will happen. My personal prediction has not changed from my predictions for TPOT 18, and I still believe it will occur in TPOT 18. However, I have seen some talk that TPOT 18 will be a non-competition episode, and TPOT 19 will be the merge. I do not believe this to be the case. I don't see a TPOT releasing in May, and I highly doubt they would want to show a non-competition episode at the tour. I'm also skeptical that TPOT will be the VidCon episode, seeing as that's only a week before the first tour location, which will also have a TPOT episode. I think it will instead be a BFDIA episode for VidCon, but that's not super relevant to this TPOT-centered video, so that's all the more I will say on that for now. Or, that's what I would say if I hadn't changed my mind about elaborating on this late into production. What I think will happen with BFDIA is, both BFDIA 19 and BFDIA 20 will be released before the tour, with the latter being the VidCon episode. I also believe one of the two would be a non-competition episode. Which one is not super important. Then, obviously, BFDIA 21 would be the tour episode for the later three locations. As for the remainder of the season, I'm not sure how the episode releases could go, but we know that Pin gets her color extracted and formed into new limbs 6 months before IDFB1, canonically set in September 2016. Since all BFDIA episodes take place 10 years before their release dates, this means BFDIA has to last until at least March 2026. But no longer than to August, to not overlap with IDFB. To show Pin getting her limbs back, if they wanted to, of course. This is all just my own speculation though, so take it with a grain of salt. Back on topic, there's also speculation that once we hit the merge, we'll go back to single eliminations. I'm not fully convinced of this either. For one, Cloudier's team could be considered a trial run for how double eliminations could look in the merge, minus getting 2 votes per person of course. Additionally, staying with double eliminations would allow TPOT to end closer to when BFDIA concludes. On the other hand, if they did switch to single eliminations in the merge, then there's a possibility of the show ending on TPOT 32. That would be a perfect episode number to end on, what with 32 being a power of 2, specifically 2 to the 5th. And now for a bit of my own speculation. First off, we're obviously going to learn sooner or later what the purpose of Tree's token is. I think it will probably be an immunity into a certain placement deal, like Fry's immunity to the final 6 in BFDIA. I could also see it being a situation where, if used, Tree can pick one loser of a challenge to get immunity in that episode, so long as Tree himself also won immunity. I've seen a couple of people suggest that we won't actually be merging at all yet, but instead doing 3 teams of 5. While I strongly disagree, it would be fun to speculate about what those teams could look like, so I'll do that anyway. For the sake of this, I will assume that TV and Snowball are the ones getting out next episode, as I predicted in my predictions for TPOT 18. It's pretty obvious that Deathpack yet again would remain together, and they would have to add a 5th contestant. I would have to say Grassy is the most likely choice, given his interactions with Tree in TPOT 17. Also due to TPOT 17, there is zero chance Book would want to be on the same team as Pencil. Golf Ball and Tennis Ball would also want to be on the same team again, though I don't know which team they would want to be on yet. Most likely, Book would want Price Tag and Winner for her team. I also think the writers may want to keep Donut with Golf Ball, so that means them along with TB would have to go to Pencil's team. I think Pen and Lai would want to stay together as well, so I will put them on Book's team, which has 2 open spots left, which means Pencil gets the last contestant, Bottle. That means if we have a fate with 3 teams, this is my best guess as to what those teams could hypothetically look like. However, I do not think there will be one more teams phase. Instead, I think we may see the return of points. See, I think the reason BFDIA and BFB didn't have points phases is because the merge happened so late in those seasons. However, TPOT still has more than even Season 1 data at the start of its points phase, 15 versus 12. I mostly only see this happening if there are single eliminations going forward though, so that this phase is longer than 3 or so episodes. Finally, I think I want to update my opinion on who is most likely to get up for elimination in TPOT 18 if the merge happens. I stand by Bottle, Fanny, and Price Tag, those have not changed. However, I think I'll replace Donut with Book based on how poor her track record has been in BFDIA. I don't see much reason that wouldn't carry over to TPOT, though much like BFDIA, she probably wouldn't get out from it. Also, I'll switch Grassy for Marker, he just seemed like a contestant who wouldn't do that well solo. What did you think of this video? This all was a shower thought I had, as in I literally came up with the idea in the shower. Anyways, if you have any more tidbits of speculation of your own to share, definitely leave them in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe with notifications on, and I will see you in the next one.